Some people tell me that they'd rather not know what is in their chart so that they can remain free, which to me is such an interesting concept. Basically, if I understand right, what they're saying is that if they bury their heads in the sand, then they stand a chance of escaping their destiny. Okay, that's a way of looking at it. The dictionary defines destiny as the events that will necessarily happen to a particular person or thing in the future, or the hidden power believed to control what is going to occur. Free will, on the other hand, is the capacity or ability to choose between different possible courses of action unhindered. So, eternal debate. Does astrology lock us in destiny, or do we have free will? This is what we shall find out here today. Good morning, bonjour, welcome to my channel where we talk about all things astrological. Michelle Karen, astrologer, shaman, author of Astrology for Enlightenment, published by Simon & Schuster, New York, as well as the astrologically based oracle deck, Attuning with the Quantum. I was selected to be the astrologer to the stars at the 78th Academy Awards in Hollywood. The word astrology comes from astrologos, the language of the stars. The general consensus is that the stars incline but do not determine. To me, it is very difficult to dissociate astrology from the concept of reincarnation. When taking his first independent breath, the newborn is imprinted by the positions of the planets in the sky at that special moment that reflect the good karma he has accumulated in past embodiments, the difficult karma he needs to transmute, and the lessons he still has to learn. His chart becomes the blueprint of his new incarnation. Even in premature births or births by cesarean, that unique moment of birth and the general conditions of a baby's life, whether it is, of course, related to his parents, social conditions, geographic location, financial situation, education, etc., are never random. I believe that a mutual agreement is struck between a specific soul and her parents, as many accounts of small children remembering how they chose their parents attest, and there's tons of videos on that subject on YouTube. But then, is absolutely everything written in our birth chart? Read by somebody who knows astrology well, that celestial map does contain a lot of information, and I mean a lot more than most people suspect. So make sure you truly trust the person you are giving your birth data to. Our chart, as you know, is the picture of the heavens for the date, place, and time we were born. Just to stay as simple as possible, because astrology can get very complex very quickly. The planets each represent an active principle of life. The signs those planets are in color their expression. The houses reveal the areas of our life that they rule and where they operate, and the aspects or angular relationships between the planets show how they interact with each other. All of this creates an intricate map that is unique to each individual. Alan Leo, the great British astrologer of the 19th century, said that character is destiny, which is very true. Quite simplistically, because people are psychologically a lot more complicated than that. For example, a person born with the sun in Aries will be courageous, forceful, dynamic, positive, enterprising, impulsive, and bold, while a person with the sun in Virgo will be much more service-oriented, selfless, attentive to details, hardworking, humble, great at putting order in disorder and bringing healing to the diseased. In a sales job, for example, that person with Sun in Aries will be very suited for talking people into buying. And the Sun in Virgo person will be a lot happier dealing with paperwork, where he she can work away without any distraction in the background. And then there is how we evolve over time. Like if somebody, for example, is born with Saturn in the fifth house, as a child, they would gravitate towards serious hobbies such as reading or writing. When they become an adolescent, romance is going to be approached so deeply that it may just not happen at all. And when turning into an adult, he or she would either not want any children at all or just one, and that responsibility will be taken extremely seriously. That person may also turn a creative hobby into a solid, structured career and become, for example, a professional novelist. While the position of Saturn in the fifth house has not changed in that person's chart throughout their life, the consciousness with which this influence is used does. The planetary tools we were born with could be likened to the ingredients of a cake. With the same amount of sugar, flour, eggs, milk, etc., one will burn his cookies while the other one will create a sumptuous cake. And this is where the notion of free will comes into play. What we need to remember is that we don't have just one future, but many possible futures, depending on the choices we make at any given moment. And that is the difference between a psychic reading and an astrology reading. A psychic will most likely predict the most probable future of a person based on their past and present. And if we accept that outcome, the psychic is good. If we don't, he had no clue what he was saying. An astrologer, on the other hand, cannot and should not predict, for example, if somebody is going to get into an accident. What we can predict is that this is a period when our anger could be closer to the surface, where we should give it a positive outlet, stay away from potentially aggressive people, and be extra careful while driving. The value of astrology is to help us focus on the contents, the underlying energy we are dealing with, the specific lesson we need to learn at any given time. The outcome will take care of itself and does not need to manifest in a dramatic or negative way. The purpose of astrology is not to determine what that future will be, because we are then imprinting a specific future in the consciousness of a person, and that is neither helpful nor beneficial. But it is to help the person make good decisions. For example, if Saturn is transiting our sixth house of health, the way we relate to our physical body comes under scrutiny. This is a perfect time for a medical checkup, a re-evaluation of our nutrition, and how we take care of our body. Now, if we don't listen to that advice, continue abusing our health, doing drugs, drinking an excessive amount of alcohol, not sleeping enough, never exercising, definitely that will be a time where we do run the risk of developing a serious illness. But this is not a fatality. We still have the free will to heed astrology's advice and revamp our health habits. And that is also the beauty of it. When we experience dark periods in our lives, a dark night of the soul, periods that happen, we may feel that things will never, ever, ever get better. And yet, looking at our chart, we can tell that this is only for a time, maybe a few weeks or a few months, but definitely not forever. As astrology shows us the light at the end of the tunnel, we can start walking towards it to create a much more positive future for ourselves. Basically, what astrology is saying is it is raining outside. That is our destiny. But our free will allows us to choose: one, to stay home with a cup of hot chocolate and a good book by the fire; two, grab boots, our raincoat, our umbrella, and step outside. 3, without any protection, go and dance in the rain and get ourselves totally wet and hopefully completely happy. All astrology said was, it is raining outside. Period. That's it. To me, not wanting to know our birth chart is very much like hoping to reach a destination without a GPS. If you are as direction challenged as I am, and I am really challenged, you will lose a lot of time and money just driving around in the hope of getting where you want to go with no guarantee of ever arriving there. It is, I think, much smarter to plan our itinerary, to take the fastest route, or decide to enjoy the scenic road, visit places of interest on the way, stop at a nice restaurant, and still arrive on time, having had a relaxed, fun, enriching journey. So, to answer our question of the beginning, while the big lines of our destiny are written in our chart, knowing what they are gives us the free will to choose how to lead our life to make the most of our gifts, talents, and lessons, and develop ourselves to the best of our capacities. If enlightenment were easy, there would be no merit in reaching the most refined expression of ourselves. But it is not. It requires choices, consciousness, and inner work. And astrology is an invaluable tool in helping us know what we came with and how to wisely use those gifts to reach our highest evolution. If you are already subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. Your comments are always appreciated. If you enjoyed this video, you are most welcome to place a thumbs up. Hit that bell to be notified when I upload a new video once, sometimes twice a week. Remember, as always, choose your battles, walk in beauty. Thank you for watching. Until next time.